Hello, hi, welcome beautiful, and I'm so happy you're here joining me today on this wonderful occasion of my first YouTube video. So today we're going to go ahead and play with a little bit of makeup and get to know each other. I love you and keep watching. Okay, let's go ahead and start off. What I like to do before I get into my look is I do like to go in with the e.l.f. This does help. It is a toner. It works magically. I also like to go in with my Olay Cleanse Makeup Remover. These are not harsh at all, especially for your skin. For some people that do suffer from like sensitive skin and stuff, sometimes that is me. Like today I do got a little bit of redness, but these work magically for your skin. So let's go ahead and start off. I'm so excited just to even do this. It's because it makes me so happy being part of this amazing platform of YouTube. And the reason I started off, the way I started off was on TikTok. I had transferred my platform from TikTok. One of my videos blown up on there, and I'll go ahead and post it. Ooh, how do I do it? Right here? So we can go ahead and see it together. And I just would like to say thank you for all the people supporting me from day one and believing in my dream. It is really, really amazing, and it's such an inspiration that I can like motivate others and like show them happiness and be myself all at the same time. Now that I did rinse my face off with the makeup wipe, I'm going to go ahead and go in with this little bit of toner. And what I like to do is I like to grab a new wipe and I like to just put a little bit on it, just so whenever I'm doing my makeup, like right now it is a little tacky, which is a good sign. It means that my pores are getting clean, and this will do the job. So let's go ahead and put a little bit on there. Never did I thought, and I'm not saying this like in a bad way, but never did I think my TikTok would blow up the way it did, and it kind of amazes me that it did, because now I feel like joining the beauty community and for whatever it has to offer me, my dream is just to inspire and to motivate others just to be who you are and stay true to yourself. I do have a few new products that I did stop at Dollar Tree, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to check out these products, because I was like, I've seen them all over TikTok, all over social media, people talking about these certain type of, one being is the pears for your eyebrows. I heard does wonders when you spool them up. So I'm going to try this one. And then one of my favorite YouTubers, she recommended this, the Stassi and Chic eyelash curler. I heard it does wonders and it changes the game. So I'm going to go ahead and put one of my Morphe ones to test with this one, so I like this as well. And yeah, it just happened with makeup. So now that my skin is dry, I am going to go in with a little bit of primer. I'm going to do the Poreless Putty Primer from e.l.f. This one does work magic as well. And what I like to do is, sometimes people like to do beauty blenders, but I like to do both beauty blenders and brushes, also my hands, but I feel like my hands do a lot more better of a job than my putty primer does. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Let's go ahead and start with some questions. So a lot of questions that I get is, who do I look up in the beauty community? I am such a big Nikki Tutorial fan. I love Jaclyn Hill. Her makeup is beautiful and spotless and so clear, and she's just wonderful as well. I also look up to Laura Lee. When I had first started seeing makeup, I think I was maybe about 14, 13, 12, around there. And I used to borrow, as I say, I used to borrow my foster parents' my foster mom's, basically her foundation, and she would never notice. And I'm not saying this like in a bad way, like go ahead and do it and stuff, but that is the way I felt beautiful, is that this liquid changed the way I looked in a matter of seconds. I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows, and I'm going to go ahead and give a little tutorial on that, on just how I do my eyebrows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my Morphe, the brow. It's in the color Java. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, my little baby mirror. So what I like to do is I do spoolie up. And I like to get a clear thing, and I do go a little bit hard on my eyebrows. So what I like to do is I barely touch it right here, just to get that little outline of the line. And then I like to go up, and then now that I have that line, you see how we're getting that point? What I like to do is I like to barely tap into my corner of my eyebrow. And I like to barely spoolie it in, because that's way I feel like it shades it in a little bit, but just not too much that it looks crazy. And so now I like to blend it out right here. And I like to blend this up just a little bit, and I go in a little crazier here, but just because I feel like it does the work. And then and there we go. Again, barely touch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it up now. Okay, so I know we see that, but I'll fix that up right now. So let's go ahead and do that. And so what I want with my videos as well, I want to just be completely honest, edit a little bit, but not too much, but I feel like that's what I like to do. I'm just open and honest about how I do my makeup. And, you know, constructive criticism is what I like as well, so I don't see it as a bad thing. For my concealer today, I'm going to go ahead and be using the e.l.f. concealer. This is super, super good. I do recommend it if you're on a budget. You know, this is your go-to as well. So let's go ahead and do that. What I like to do with my concealer as well is I like to go ahead and dab it a little bit on my arm right here. Just like if we're going to do like a little bit of painting and stuff, like just like on a canvas. This one is a really, really good one for your brows. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, I'm going to start with this one first. So what I like to do is I barely like to tap it in the corners just to give it the little edge, because we don't want to go in too much with it. I also want to know, like, what kind of content do you guys like to watch? So for my plans for my YouTube as well, I plan to expand bigger as well, with collabing with a few others one day, and then like also, I do like mukbangs. I went to a seafood place for my very first time. My best friend took me, and I was with my boyfriend, and it was my very, very first time going to this seafood place. And I don't know if a lot of people, if you guys know, but there is this YouTuber named B Loves, and her food looks so good. Her seafood looks so good, and every time I watch it, it makes my mouth water, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to try it. So I went to this place here in Arizona called Angry Crab Shack, and it was so good. It made me stop my craving for it, but I also want to make my very own seafood sauce one day and try hers as well. Now that I did, do you see how I did that now? So now it looks a little easier, but it doesn't look too harsh to the point where it's scary. A lot of people do, what I notice is a lot of people do makeup backwards, and I don't know if this makes sense, but so I just recently started doing my makeup like this with my eyebrows first instead of doing, so what I used to do was I used to do my whole full face. Let's go ahead and grab the brow gel, and so for my brow gel I do use Morphe. This one is a clear liquid brow gel, and it works super, super good to keep it in place. Eyebrows, and I felt like he is really, really good at art, and Yeah. So what I like to do with my eyebrows is when I go in with the liquid, I like to barely touch it and swoop up, and then for this one I touch to the sides a little bit just to give it that figure. And then for this one as well, I'm going to go ahead and go back into it, and then I'm barely gonna touch it, and it gives it a little darker tint. I like that about this one. I love Morphe. Morphe is one of my all-time favorite brands, and I feel like you can never go wrong with Morphe. Morphe is super, super reliable. So for eyes, I am going to be going in with the Bloodlust palette from Jeffree Star. This one is a killer. It does super, super good. For that, I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes. What I like to do is I like to go back in with my e.l.f. concealer and go ahead and touch my eyes up. Okay, now that that one's set, I'm going to go ahead and go in with this eye. It looks a little crazy, but we'll go ahead and fix it. Well, I like to grab the Morphe 506 brush. This one is from the James Charles bundle that you can get with all his brushes in iSet. And this one does wonders because it not only does the outline of what I want. So for today's look, I'm going to go ahead and go in with Monarch. So let's go ahead and do that. Another thing that I like to do when I like to learn my makeup, I do watch a lot of reviews, and I do like to, basically I do like to just explore makeup because I do like to be on the bold side of stuff as well and go out of my comfort zone because I'm more of like a free body type of person. A lot of these artists that I see on TikTok as well, because I love TikTok, like now I feel like it's my favorite app. TikTok and Instagram. I feel like these people, like I give props to all of them because when it takes to do their makeup, sometimes my makeup takes up to like 2 hours, or it can take up to like 20 minutes. Sometimes if I'm like trying to rush or something, these people go all out with their makeup, and I'm talking about like full effects, like blood gushing, or like unicorn heads, or certain types of things like that. And it is just so beautiful what they do with their makeup, and they are skilled at the talent that they do. So what I like to do is I just like to go ahead and blend it out a little more, and then pull it out a little bit to my eyebrow. For my eye color, I'm going to go ahead and go in with Blood Queen. It is this really, really pretty color right here. And what I like to do is I barely like to touch it. So from the corner of the eye, see how I'm barely touching it? Because a little goes a long way when it comes to the shade. It is so beautiful. Let's go ahead and drag it out a little bit. So now that we get that little line shape, and then what I like to do is I like to just swing it on to the closeness of my eye. Make sure we're not getting that super sharp effect yet. And I know it looks a little crazy right now, but it's okay, we'll fix it. I do practice makeup a lot just for fun as well, just because I feel like it is an outlet for me. I'll go ahead and go in with this eye and start this one as well. So for the next shade, I'm going to go ahead and grab another Morphe brush that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and go into it with, it's going to be Dungeon. Barely touch it again on this side as well. So a lot of people ask me to is how do you grab a makeup brush? And I recommend grabbing from the end, but sometimes when it comes to dark colors like this, I like to grab it a little bit towards the little bit of the point right here, and then touch it barely. But especially when I'm going in to either blend or do anything like that, I do like to make sure that I grab from the end, because you don't want to put too much, not only put too much pressure on the eye, but you also don't want it to look super crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and go in the cut crease my eye. For this part of my eye, I do like to go in with a different brush. I like to go in with the Morphe 224 brush that I have right here. And this one works wonders for my cut crease. What I like to do is I like to touch it right here because I know where my eye's gonna start. And then I like to barely touch it. Sometimes I feel like I don't breathe during this part. So now that we did create that cut crease effect, now I'm going to go ahead and do this eye as well. So let's go ahead and start that. And now that I did some of that, I'm going to go ahead and go in with, what I like to do is I like to use my pinky for this part. I'm going to go ahead and add a shimmer. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of, I'm going to go in with Pink Magic. And what I like to do is I barely, look, that is crazy pigmented. And it's so beautiful too. I'm still going to go in with the brush, but what I like to do is I like to just go ahead and make sure that this part is super shimmery. Oh yeah. I'm going with the Morphe 508 brush right here, and I'm going to go back in with Pink Magic, and I'm going to touch it right in the corner. Pinky. I'm going to go ahead and do that right here as well. So go ahead. Oh my god, look how beautiful that is on the eyes. So now that I did do my eyes, now I'm going to go ahead and go back in with a little bit of Blood Queen, and I'm going to go ahead and do it in the little corner of my eye. Just because like now that I got that little part, I like to just go back in a little bit and bring it in a little so it doesn't look as crazy. I'm going to go in with a little bit of Dungeon again, since we did use that color. And it's all in the blending too. That is a super, super big thing. So So now that it does look like it gives it that effect that we're looking for. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this eye. And again, I'm going to go in barely with the corner. For my eyes, I'm going to go ahead and use the Benefit Roller Lash. I got this in one of my Ipsy boxes because a good thing I just ran out as well. And this is a wonderful thing for your eyelashes. It makes it beautiful. And what I like to do is I barely touch. And so I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Stasi Chic eyelash curler. And I'm going to take a look on how good these are because I've only tried a few. Ooh, let's go ahead and unclip it because it comes with a little clip. So let's go ahead and do that. And so for my lashes, I'm going to go ahead and going with the Ariel Fox Mink lashes. These are super, super good. And I'm going to go ahead and apply them as well. So let's go ahead and do that. And also for my lash glue, I go in with the Kiss Strip Lash Glue. This one is super, super good in the color Clear. What I like to do is before I apply the glue is I like to twist them a little bit, if that makes sense. Just so they give them that shape, so when they go in my eye, they apply beautifully. And so my advice also for lashes, look, I tend to do that too when I'm about to apply my lashes. I tend to grab a lot of things. What I like to do is I like to look down. And then I like there we go, it's on. So I'm going to go ahead and do now this one. There we go, so now that they're both on, I do things like a little backwards I guess, but I'm going to go ahead and go in with the M433 brush. I'm going to go ahead and blend out my edges. Just so they don't look crazy. So for my under eyes, I'm going to go ahead and go back in under eye with my Morphe 506 brush. And I'm going to go ahead and go back in with Dungeon. And I'm barely going to touch it under. Just because like right now I'm going to put foundation on. And I don't want it to lose all the color. Let's go ahead and start with foundation. At the beginning of the video I did already apply my e.l.f. Putty Primer on my face. Just so I like to let that prime during the whole process of while I'm doing my eyebrows and my eyes. And today I'm going to be going in with the Stasi Chic as well. I've never tried one of these brushes before, so I'm kind of excited. And it seems super, super smooth, like it would go on the skin super easily. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that. Foundation, I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Fit Me. And I'm going to be applying it all over my face. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, with the concealer, I like to do it on my hand and barely like to tap in. And kind of like ASMR moment, but I like that. I feel like this brush is doing a super, super smooth job as well. Applying to where I want it to go. Going down my arm. I feel like one thing about this brush is that it's sucking in all product and not giving a good application. So let's go ahead. Oh, half and half. Let's go ahead and go in on this side with my face now. So with makeup, what I was saying earlier is like I feel like it makes me super feminine. Is I like feeling beautiful and I like feeling, I don't know, like a girl. It makes me feel true to myself, and I feel like with makeup I can express myself in many ways and be truthful to who I am as well. Let's go ahead. Because it's so crazy that makeup can do this for so much people. Okay, you guys, I'm not liking this brush and I feel like I'm going in super ham with it, so I'm going to go ahead and switch brushes. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Morphe brush that I'm going to do for my foundation. And I'm going to apply a little bit because I feel like that brush sucked in all of the product and it didn't do a good job. It was doing a good job in the beginning, but then I feel like now I'm just playing with it too much. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and go in with it. And I'll post my skin routine as well for a video for you guys, just so you guys can go ahead and see that part of what I do for my skin as well. And so for concealer, I don't really go too much into my concealer, but I do like to set it right here. And then bring it into the bridge of my nose. And then, yeah. Let's go ahead and blend that out. I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Jeffree Star X. So now that I did set that concealer, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Wet n Wild Photo Focus setting powder in the color Translucent. It is so beautiful, and I feel like it really does set everything in place. So let's go ahead and do that. I like to barely tap in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under the under eye, both sides. And then while this bakes, I'm gonna go under my under eye and smoke it out a bit more. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go in on my forehead. There we go. Oh, I know it looks a little crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and use it. And while that looks like I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and go in there with my under eye and smoke it out a little more with Dungeon. And so now that we did let that sit and I did color my under eyes, I'm going to go ahead and clean that up. And I'm going to go ahead and use my Eco Tools brush. And go ahead and dust this excess powder off. Now that it did lock in place. Yeah, so let's go ahead and go in with contour now. This is my favorite part. I feel like we transform with this one. So for my contour today, I'm going to be going with the e.l.f. contour cream. It is super good. So for my brush, I'm going to be go ahead and going in with this as well. It is an Eco Tools brush. I'm going to go ahead and be stamping it just on both sides with this shade, and then one tap on this one. And then what I like to do is, I like to do it like this, and then give it that little shape that we're looking for. And then again on this side, and then the little shape we're looking for. Ooh. Kind of like Pinocchio. And then for the corners, because people do struggle with this a lot as well, and so do I do it from my sideburn, and I like to go straight to the corner enough just to give it the effect we're looking for. And then for this one as well, I'm going to go ahead and go in for my sideburn, straight to enough. There we go. And then what I like to do is, ever since I've seen Kim Kardashian explain how she did her contour looks so beautiful, she does a 3. And that's how we do the 3. And yeah. Oh yeah. And so now that I did apply that cream contour, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Morphe brush as well to go ahead and blend it out. So what I like to do is I like to grab it from the end of the brush, work slowly and slowly. Sure as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my nose. And you see how it's giving the effect that we want. So now for my nose, I go ahead and pinch this a little bit. And go ahead and make sure we get that look we're going for. And then for this side as well. There we go. So now that we did blend it, it kind of gave it like a super sharp effect that we were looking for. And now for my favorite part. So again, we're going to be going in with the photo focus again, but before that I'm going to be going in with a little bit of my natural finish from Wet n Wild setting spray. So let's go ahead and do that. Just so we don't completely dry out when we do the next step as well. And then I like to just go back in with my sponge. And I do like to tap. So again, we're going to go in with the translucent powder a little bit, just so we can get rid of this little effect right here. Go back in. Just make the line. And then for my nose as well, now that I did that, I like to stamp it right here. And this is one thing I learned from Nikki Tutorials, is that she does, is that she, oh no, it's tricks on there right there. There we go. And while that's sitting, I'm going to go ahead and go in with a little bit of brush. blush. So for my blush, I like to use the Tarte blush that I have. This is so beautiful, and it's like a soft matte pink. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this excess powder off. I'm gonna go ahead and be going in with the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette again. And then I'm gonna be going in with one of my Morphe brushes. I like to use a little bit of a spoolie brush, bigger brush for blending, and I'm gonna go in with a little bit of wet jewel. Barely like to touch it and give it the effect that we're looking for. You see how it's already doing? Oh my god, that's so beautiful. Oh yeah. And then for my nose as well, I'm going to go ahead and go in with a little bit on my middle finger. And I'm going to go ahead and... Oh my gosh, look how beautiful that is. There we go. And then a little bit on my lip as well. So next I'm going to be going in with the Rimmel Nude Lip. I like to do a little 1, 2, 3. And then for my lips, I'm going to be going in with the Wet n Wild Bare It All Nude Lip. This one is so beautiful. I guess I did it here. This is when I hair needs. And so now we're going to go ahead and finish off with a little bit of setting spray. And so for the setting spray, I'm going to go ahead and be using the Jeffree Star X Morphe setting spray. And just go ahead with a small circular motion. There we go. Okay, so you guys, this is the final look, so I'm going to go ahead. And now, what do you guys think? So I'd like to say thank you to all my fans out there that are keep watching and that have been wanting this YouTube. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I'm not going to stop until my dreams come true as well. And also give back to you guys as well, and I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, go ahead and go down and give it a big thumbs up, and then go ahead and click the subscribe button as well, okay? I love you so much, beautiful, okay? And I'll see you soon.